Well, hey, what's up, everybody? This is Brian over here at the Little Orchard Farm. My wife, Karen. We are out in the garden today. Well, it's been a mixed review of a summer, if you will, for our garden. We've had some really wonderful producers. Our pepper plants are still cranking it out as they typically do. Karen has had some, I think, mixed or success with some new plants like the eggplant. That was our first time for doing that. But man, our corn just, well, we could just never get it, we could never get it rolling. And even our cucumbers, which are producing, have been kind of off and on again, not really prolific like they were last year. Tomatoes, well, we had a wonderful tomato season, but the tomatoes actually have fallen off here of late, probably a little early, a couple of weeks early from when they, I think, typically do. And so we're going to go ahead and pull these up, and we're going to pull up all the other all the other areas and begin to prep them for our fall planting. Meaning we've brought the tractor in, we're going to get the tiller going on it, and we're just going to prep it. We've got a couple of things that we are going to do on a couple of areas. So one of these blocks that we will till up will be for our fall plantings, and we're going to do things like cauliflower, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, maybe some greens, carrots we'll throw into the ground. Karen will probably get some garlic in the ground as well, and we may even take a run at maybe doing some potatoes or something like that. But that'll be one pretty big block. The other block we've got is a block where we're going to begin prepping it for next year. We did not do the lasagna garden on probably 2/3 of our garden this year, and it was probably a mistake. As you can see, we grew an unbelievable lawn. The grass just took over with all the other things that we had going on the farm and off the farm with work and so forth. We just couldn't get up here and keep this all weeded out and cleaned. And so we did find last year with our lasagna garden idea, there was very little weeding that we did. I mean, it was really a pretty nice experience. The front end of that prep is where the work is. You put in substantially more work on the front end. So anyway, we're going to begin planning the prep for that today as well. We got some rough weather moving in, as you can see. I don't know if the sky is telling the full story. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Oh, there you go. So we definitely got rain that's going to happen today, but we're going to try to get as much done as we possibly can. And then I'm going to show you a review of one product that we bought a while back. I want to give you an update on that product and how it's working for us. And then also want to discuss with you an issue that we're having here on the farm and see how you guys handle it around your place. If you have this kind of an issue, and if so, how are you dealing with it? Anyway, we got a lot to do today, so let's do this. So we've, for the second year in a row, we've gone with the California weave to trellis up our, huh?
I thought it was a Florida weave.
Oh, for the second year in a row, we've gone with the Florida weave for our trellising for our tomato plants. Last year, because our tomato plants didn't do that well, we really didn't have any problems with the Florida weave. It was okay, but again, the plants were not growing vigorously, and it just, it didn't give us a good sample for how well that particular method works for us. But this year they grew quite nicely, and we found ourselves maybe not using the right kind of stakes for it, maybe not positioning the string correctly, or for whatever reason, just a lot of laid over tomato plants. We may not have weaved the branches the way we were supposed to weave the branches, but anyway, it was just not a good fit for us. So we may try something new next year. We may go with some sort of a panel, or may go back to running tomato cones. I don't know what we're going to do. But the Florida weave, I'm sure, probably works really well if we know how to do it real good. We need to go back and study on it, make sure we're doing it the right way. We tried a couple of new things. We've got this beautiful pepper plant here that I think is actually doing really, really nicely. And this is the Mad Hatter, and they look like almost like little hats, and they are turning a beautiful colors of orange and red. And these aren't hot peppers, at least not that I can tell. We've actually taken a few of these and mixed them in with a few of our meals, and they're wonderful, absolutely wonderful. All right, well, we're gonna get this area tilled up. We got one product in the mail last week that I'm excited to kind of jump into and show and discuss. It could be a game changer for us. Could be a game changer. All right, let's get started. So this right here is what we're after. Nice fluffy soil. We got to keep tilling it to till all this mess out of it. But we want to get it down to where it's nice mulched soil. We're mixing. So you might be asking me, why are we using the big tractor to till up our garden? Particularly if, man, I'd love to follow some of the no-till principles, right? Well, we brought in a lot of our topsoil from our burn piles and composting piles around the property where we had piled up lumber or piled up wood and burned it and so forth. It makes really incredibly rich soil. But it also has a ton of grass seed and so forth in it. So when we put that soil out onto our garden, it's like I said earlier, we grew the most beautiful lawn up here you could imagine. And so our thought was we retill it, we take some amendment steps, we take an overwintering step, and I'm going to show you what we did here in just a little bit. We purchased a new tool for our garden that will greatly, hopefully, reduce the amount of weeds that we see as we begin to plant our next spring crops. So Karen is finishing up, going over this to try to cut down and cut out and drop and chop a lot of the grass. I'm going to then take our little DR tiller here and go over it and I'm going to go over it and fine till it, get it nice and fluffy. All right, so we've got it all nicely tilled up, and now the tool that I was talking about a little bit earlier that we purchased, I'm actually considering the silage tarp as a tool, Karen's toting one of them right now. We're going to roll it out, and I got another one. We went with one of those vinyl repurposed sites where they sell the old billboards, vinyl billboard signs. They resell those. It's a real thick material, and we're going to use it as our silage tarp. And so we're going to roll this thing out right over here. Karen's already started to yank it out, and I think they're 14 by 40, and so we should be able to get a couple of good coverages out of a couple of good area of coverage from these two, hoping maybe this side over here. This is the side we're going to tarp and try to kill off all the grass, and then we'll come back here in a couple of months, pull it back, lay cardboard, and put a top coat of soil over the top, and then cover it back up, and then hopefully we will have some really nice soil come spring. All right, well, let's get to rolling this bad boy out and see what we got here. And so, yeah, we're gonna try these out for a season. The flip side of this one here is for the New Jersey lottery. Let's see, what is it? There's a picture of it here. Karen thought we might want to flip this one over because it looks a little gaudy. Yeah, the New Jersey lottery on that one. This other one was an expo of some sort. But I mean, hey, for the price, I think we paid, was it like $60 each for these? Like a silage tarp this size run well over $100 if you're buying it from an ag center or something like that. This was a huge discount. So we're gonna try it. We'll see how long these last. You know, we're trying to figure out what is the best way to propagate a wonderful garden with as little labor as we possibly can. We know we know that there's some labor involved, obviously, but weeding should be something that we can control or at least mitigate in a large way. And the lasagna gardening effort that we did 2 seasons ago, it worked. It worked. It was awesome. The issue with that, obviously, is the front end work required. You have a lot of intense labor on the front end to lay the cardboard, to put up a fresh layer of compost or a layer of topsoil over the top of that, do some amending or whatever is necessary, and then it's kind of ready to go. But that's a huge effort, and we didn't do that this year, and we paid the price. We paid it dearly. So this next spring, we are going to do the lasagna method. We're starting. We have a ton of cardboard boxes already. We'll be collecting a ton more, and this area will be nice to go. But we do have ready for the fall. So we're going to be next week. The co-op does not have, our local co-op has seedlings, fall produce seedlings. They're not in yet. They'll be in hopefully in the next week or two, and we will be planting that out here. But that's one task down. All right, so I'm going to share with you one more thing that we've been dealing with for quite a while, and maybe get you guys' take on, man, how do you if you deal with it, how do you deal with it? We would love to know. So we're going to be asking you. All right, stay tuned. Here we go. All right, so where is he? I think I know where he's at. He's right over there. Because the birds of, man, those are huge. All right, so what's been my issue? Right there has been my issue. And last night, I dispatched that guy. But why are they an issue? Well, they're an issue because they're getting all out through our fields, digging massive holes. Some holes are quite deep. They've come up to our cabin. They've dug around the landscaping around our cabin. They're incredibly destructive. And I know that there are some benefits to them. But yeah, we've yet to find a really productive one as of yet. We know that they obviously are grub hunters, and they will take care of our grubs for us. But we don't have a real bad grub problem. I don't think we do, although these guys wouldn't be around in the numbers that they are if we didn't. So what do you guys do to control armadillos? We have possums, we have raccoons. We tolerate them. We know the possums eat mosquitoes and other bugs and things around the cabin. They're not as intrusive as the armadillo. The armadillo has dug up a number of around our plants and so forth. They're really destructive. So if I had to pick what the number one enemy of our farm is, at least for the time being, it's the armadillo. The raccoon is a close second because they are taking out our birds, right? They killed a couple of our meat birds. They have been, I'm sure, sneaking around the old coop, trying to figure out a way to get into the coop. But when it comes to just destruction, I'd have to say the armadillo is head and shoulders above all the other critters we have running around out here. I've actually dispatched 4 so far, and 3 of them were right up against the cabin. Were right in our flower bed. And looking for a humane way of chasing them off, of relocating them to some other place. But man, when they get out on our property, they dig holes, and that can be kind of dangerous for our livestock, because they dig an 8-inch hole. Livestock steps off in that and breaks a foot. Not a good thing. How do you guys take care of armadillos? All right, so with a few minutes that I have left on this video, I wanted to give you a review of a couple of months. We've had this little apparatus, the FarmLite Automatic Chicken Coop Door, operational for a couple of months now, and the door is working really nicely. So this door is by far an incredibly sturdy, very trustworthy door so far. Been a couple of months. We've gone through some bad weather. We've had some massive heat, as you can tell. The little sticker on his door is rubbing off. But Mitch over at FarmLite has been awesome. He originally emailed to make sure that the purchase, once we post-purchase, everything went great with that. Followed up a couple of months later to ask how things were going. I mean, just a really awesome guy, producing an awesome product. And as you guys are all aware, as homesteaders or as home gardeners or wherever we are, man, we want to support our local community. In this case, our local homesteading community, local guy or local farming guy, local homesteading guy, wanting to put out a good quality product for the chicken community. And I think he's got a good product here. Highly recommend them. If you're in the market for an automatic chicken coop door, FarmLite. Mitch over there and those guys, they're doing it right. Big kudos to them. Well, hey guys, that's all I got for today. Hope you guys have a wonderful week and a very blessed week. Until we see you again the next time, we will. See ya.